Hello everyone. Welcome to the very first demo of data engineering with the Google Cloud platform. I hope you all able to hear me. Can you guys confirm once am I audible? Okay, great. Thanks for confirming. So today is our very first demo on the data engineering with the Google Cloud platform, everyone. So I hope you all can see my screen as well. So let us start this session. So in this first demo session, I'm going to talk about four modules. The very first module I'm going to talk about what is data engineering. And then we will talk about what is Google Cloud Platform and what are the benefits of using the GCP over the other cloud platforms also. Let us try to understand. And the third module we are going to see the detailed course curriculum. Okay, so the detailed course curriculum which we are going to see as well that, and we are also covering the basic details such as the course details or what is the timings and what are the benefits of attending this course, like notes, recordings, and all of those details we are going to see. Okay, so we have decided this entire 1 hour of session into these four modules, and one is data engineering and what is Google Cloud Platform. The detailed course curriculum, I will talk about the detailed course curriculum in the third module, guys. Please give me some time. Okay, please be patient during the session. I will talk about whatever the topics that we are going to discuss in the next 3 months of session. I am going to talk about it here. And after that, the course details. Okay, maybe some people may be having different questions also, right? So those questions also I would like to answer it. Some people may be having some questions like how would I get a job, and some people may be having a question, sir, what about my current experience, and how I don't know cloud at all. So some people say, sir, I don't know cloud at all, can I be able to learn this course and crack the job? Yes, we can see all of these things, guys. Different questions people may be having it. By the end of the session, I am going to answer each and every question, because this course is not only for the IT people, this is also for the non-IT people as well. Whoever is having whoever is having a knowledge on the basic SQL, because the prerequisite for the SQL for this course is an SQL. So if you have a basic knowledge on the SQL, that is more than enough for this course. Okay, and if you have a zeal to learn the data engineering, sir, I wanted to enter into the data engineering. Google Cloud Platform with the data engineering is one of the highly trending job nowadays. Plenty of the opportunities are there. Many companies are looking for GCP data engineers, and this course is mainly focusing on the data engineering with the Google Cloud Platform only, GCP, and we are going to see each and everything in our upcoming sessions also. First, let me gonna talk about the what is data engineering first. Some people may not know about what is data engineering. Some people does not know about the Google Cloud Platform as well. So first, let us try to understand both of those things. Then we will talk about the course curriculum one by one. So before me jumping on to our very first session, that is data engineering, I am going to talk about myself a little bit. Sir, myself is Shaik Saidhul, and I have total 8+ years of experience. Sir, my name is Shaik Saidhul, and I'm currently working as a solution architect at Quantech. I'm also a consultant at Databricks. I'm a corporate trainer, guys. I teach in multiple corporates also. Even I have taught in Cognizant and Datamatica and different corporates. I have trained so far for GCP data engineering, and I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. I do have 8+ years of experience into this data and AI field. I have done multiple certifications, guys, in most of the field: GCP, Azure, AWS, Databricks, Python, Terraform, many certifications that I have so far. So this is all about a little bit about me, I would say. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to see me here. Okay, so now let us start with what is data engineering. Let us start with what is data engineering. Can anyone tell me? Can anyone guess it? What could be the data engineering? What do you know about data engineering? Anyone? Before me explaining it, tell me, guys, what do you know about data engineering? Anyone? Okay. Yeah, purple. Yes, that makes sense. Yes, that's a very good answer. Yes, anyone? Any other answers, guys? That was a very good answer. Thank you for that. Any good answers? Okay, so let me go now. I explain it in a very, very simple layman term so that everyone will understand. So now think that every day in the morning, you wake up in the morning, you try to interact with an application for ordering the breakfast, or maybe for going to somewhere. Maybe you just go to the Uber and Ola, try to, you wanted to go some other destination, right? So the moment you try to interact with an application, the moment we try to interact with an application, that's where the data is getting generated. You have a data that is coming from the applications. You have a data that is coming from the files. You might have seen in the medical forms or a production forms or in a different forms, the data is stored in the form of a flat files or a CSV files or a, you know, Excel files. So you have a data that is coming from some different file formats. And sometimes we also have databases where the data is properly structured. So you have a data that is coming from some databases also, sales database, banking database, healthcare databases. There are plenty of other databases related to that particular business. So you have a data that is coming from multiple databases. You have a data that is coming from some multiple IoT devices also. Sensor devices. Nowadays, sensor devices are generating a huge amounts of data. Okay, so you have the data that is coming from multiple data sources. These are all called as a data sources, guys. Sir, I have a data that is coming from applications, file formats, databases, and IoT devices. So what the business says is that you try to extract this data and try to understand or analyze. So you try to understand the data properly. The moment you try to understand the data, so we have a data that is coming from multiple applications, files, and databases and IoT devices, multiple data sources. If we try to understand this entire data, that data gives you some kind of a insights. This will give you some kind of insights, and these insights are very useful for the business improvement. These insights are very useful for the business improvement. So that is what is the main purpose for the most of the company. Every company wanted to improve their own business. So if you wanted to improve the business, you need to understand your customer behavior. You need to understand your sales trend. You need to understand your product trend. You need to understand your inventory. You need to understand your all the details about your business. If you wanted to understand the details about your business and you wanted to get some kind of a insights, and those insights are very useful for the business improvement. So if you wanted to do all of these things, we must focus on the data. We must focus on the data. So the data is very important for every business because it is nothing but a money to them. It is nothing but a money to them because it is improving their business. So every business wanted to grow. So this is what is very important, guys. In a simple words, this is what is data engineering. In a simple words. But sir, in a proper data engineering terminology, sir, can you tell me what is this one? Sir, in a data engineering, if I have to understand the data, I can't directly go for analysis. I can't directly go for understanding or analysis. I can't directly go because this data is there in multiple file formats. This data is there in multiple servers. This data is coming from multiple locations. This data is coming from multiple file servers, right? So that's the reason. So we try to extract the data from these multiple data sources, and we first store it into one single layer called a data lake. Sir, you have this application running in some other server, some other location, some other server, or some other place. So you have these databases or applications or file formats or IoT devices coming from the data from a different locations or a servers or a places. Okay, 1 minute, guys. Okay, so you have these applications coming from multiple data sources or applications or files or databases and IoT. So we try to extract the data from these data sources. We put into a one single layer called data lake where we actually store the data. So this is the layer where we are getting the data from these multiple data sources and extracting and storing it in a single layer called data lake. So data lake is one of the a large data repository where we are going to store the data as it is. It is a raw storage layer. It is an object storage layer. We store the data as it is. So that is what is your data source. You get the data and you are going to store it first. Once you are storing the data, can you guys tell me, can I directly go for the analysis purpose on top of this data? Can you guys tell me, sir, can I directly go for the analysis now so that I get some kind of insights? Anyone? Can we directly use this data for the analysis purpose?
Hello.
I'm really sorry, guys. I some internet issue. I'm not sure nowadays. Some event is happening at my area. They are using some kind of a jammers and everything. So I'm frequently disconnecting from yesterday and today. I hope it will be getting settled by tomorrow. Okay, no issues. I hope you guys are able to hear me clearly now. Can you guys confirm once, please? Okay, I'm really sorry for that. So let me gonna just tell you guys. So I hope you guys are able to see my screen as well now. So you have a data that is coming from multiple data sources. We are going to store this data into a one single layer called data lake. So I was asking a question to you guys. Can we directly use this data for the analysis purpose? I did not get any answers. So I'm going to tell you. So this is a data that is coming from the data sources directly, and this is a raw data. So raw data may have a plenty of the problems such as duplicates. It may have a duplicates, or it may have a null values, or it may have a unnecessary data. It may have a different format of the data. It may have a bad records also. So the raw data, whenever you are getting the data from the multiple data sources, that is we usually call it as a raw data. Raw data may have a plenty of the issues with it. So it may have duplicates, it may have null values, it may have a unnecessary data, it may have a different formats of the data, it may have a data that is having the bad records also. So that's the reason the third step as a data engineer, what that we do is that we extract the data from these data lakes and we do the processing. We try to perform the data processing, guys. So we are going to do the data processing with the help of the multiple data frameworks. So we have a Spark framework, we have a Apache Beam framework, we have a Pandas framework. So we are going to use different processing frameworks to process this data. So that's the reason we call it as a data processing. Data processing is a value addition process where you are going to clean the data, where you are going to prepare the large amounts of the data for the data analysis purpose. So this is where we are going to process the data. So once the data is properly stored in a one single location, we are going to process it properly. Once the data is processed, we are going to send this data to the data warehouses where we are going to perform the data analysis. Where we are going to perform the data analysis, we are going to create some kind of a tables which are going to give you some kind of a insights. Maybe for example, one of the table could be storing the data about the sales trend, and one of the table could be last year what is the sales trend for each and every product, most sold item. So such a kind of a analysis tables you are going to create it. You are going to be doing the duplicate analysis, overlap analysis, different analysis that we are going to do it for each and every property that is related to your business. So the moment you try to analyze the data, that's where you are going to get some kind of a insights. Those insights, if you wanted to capture it in the BI by creating the reports and dashboards, you are going to capture it in the BI. Or if one wanted to create some kind of a ML model out of this data, they can do that. Or there can be a data scientist who can directly use this data for future trends, to find the future trends. And there can be a business group who can use this data for business decision making purpose. So this is what is an entire process of data engineering, everyone. In a data engineering, you are having a data that is coming from the multiple data sources. You are sending it to the multiple destinations. You extract the data from these things, you are going to store it. You try to process it. You are going to analyze it. And then you send this data to the multiple destinations. This is what is data engineering. Throughout this process, we also make sure that the data is accurate and complete throughout the process. We will also ensure the data governance and monitoring activities also. So this is what is data engineering, everyone, where we extract the data from the multiple data sources, we store it, process it, analyze it, and send it to the data downstreams. And we will also take care of the data governance and monitoring to ensure that the data is quality, and accurate and complete. So this is what is the data engineering. If you guys wanted to see in the form of a definition, so data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing the large amounts of the data for the analysis purpose. In this particular process, we are going to design the systems or build the systems and infrastructure that allow the data to be captured, stored, processed, and accessed automatically and efficiently. So this is what is data engineering. I hope it is little bit clear to you guys. In our upcoming sessions, it will be even more clear. While we are working on each and every end-to-end pipelines, that time it will be even more clear. Can you guys tell me if anyone have any questions on the data engineering front? Any questions on the data engineering, please? Okay. I see no questions. If anyone have any questions, you can always raise your hand, guys. Okay. If anyone have any questions, you can always raise your hand. You can always talk to me. Okay. Yeah. So now that you know what is data engineering, let me gonna talk about the Google Cloud platform, or the sorry role of a data engineer also. In a role of a data engineer will be working on different activities. Just now I have mentioned, he may be working on this data ingestion, he may be working on the data storage and management, he may be working on the data processing, may be working on the data quality and governance, should work on the data pipelines, should also work on the performance optimization, and should be having a good knowledge on the monitoring and maintenance activities. So this is what is the role of a data engineer. Every data engineer must have a very good knowledge on all of these activities: data ingestion, data storage and management, data processing, data quality and governance, data pipeline creations, performance optimization, monitoring. So all of these areas are very important. Every data engineer must have a very good knowledge on all of these things. So this is where we are focusing on in our upcoming sessions also, for each and everything with a very detailed and a pipelines that we are going to create it also, and hands-on, with a very good hands-on also we are going to cover. So that is what the role of a data engineer. Very important topics, guys: creating the data pipelines, data processing activities, performance optimization. These are very important. Okay, we are going to cover. Now let us try to understand what is this Google Cloud platform. Can anyone tell me what are the other cloud platforms that you guys already know? What are the other cloud platforms that you know, guys? Some people know about the AWS, some people know about the Azure, maybe GCP, Alibaba, Oracle, IBM. So these are all the different cloud platforms available in the market. So these are all the different cloud platforms available in the market. So these are all cloud providers. So can you guys tell me what the cloud providers provides us? So these are the different cloud providers, right? So AWS is a one of the cloud provider, GCP is a one of the cloud provider, Azure is a one of the cloud provider, Alibaba, Oracle, and IBM. So these are all the different cloud providers. Sir, cloud providers provides you the cloud computing services. What they provide you, guys? Sir, cloud providers provide you the cloud computing services. And these services are very useful for storing the data, for processing the data, for transforming the data, analyzing this data, for visualizing the data, for data governance. So for whatever the activity as a data engineer you wanted to do, The cloud providers providing you the cloud computing services, and these services are very very useful for your project requirement, because the main purpose is that every company will have a project, and in each project there is a proper requirement is there, right? So there is a proper requirement is there. To fulfill this project requirement, you need to have a proper infrastructure and everything. So each and every service, sir, for example, in one of the project you wanted to store the data, in one project you wanted to process the data. So whatever the things that you wanted to do it, the cloud computing services are providing you the different services. These services are very useful for your project requirement fulfilling purpose. So if you wanted to store the data, you don't need to store the data in the on premises. For example, what is happening here, sir? For example, sir, I don't want to store the data over the cloud. What is other technology that is available? If you ask me, you have a on premises or a traditional method also. Traditional method also it is available. In the traditional method, if one wanted to store some 100 GB of the data, for example, so assume that, sir, I have a some 100 terabytes of the data which I wanted to store. What is the traditional method? What is the cloud computing method? So cloud. So what happens in the traditional method? What happens in the cloud? Let us try to see, so that you will understand what is the complexity or the challenges that are involved in the traditional method as well as cloud. So when you are working on the traditional method, you have to take care of everything on your own. Your company has to maintain the data center for you. So for example, when you are working on the traditional method, so for storing the data, if you wanted to store some 100 terabytes of the data, you first purchase all the machines. You first purchase all the machines. So you do not have a machine to store the data. You first purchase all the machines, and then you have to install the operating system, assign the storage, assign the networking, configure the networking. You need to take care of the networking, configure the backups, and take care of the maintenance. So even more activities are also there, but high level this is how. So if one wanted to store the data in the traditional method, sir, if one wanted to store the data in the traditional method, they have to take care of all of these activities first. They have to take care of the all of these activities. So they have to first, if they wanted to store it, they need to have the machines. They have to purchase the machines, install the operating system, assign the storage, networking, configure the backups, and maintenance. So all of these things, once everything is ready as per the standard, then they can go for the data storage. Then they can load this data here. So once the entire system is ready, once the entire system is ready as per the standards, then you can store the data on top of this system. So then you can go for the storing. So this is what we call it as traditional method, guys. In the traditional method, you have to take care of all of these things on your own, or your company has to take care of all of these things. So this is gonna take a lot amount of a time. It may take days, weeks, even months also for everything to be ready. So which is a time taking. It may take days, months, as well as sometimes weeks and months also. And not only that, you have to put a lot of effort in making all of these things ready. You have to put a lot of effort, and a lot of money also you have to put into it. So these are the challenges when you work with a traditional systems. When you work with a traditional system, you have to, you know, do everything on your own, which is not only the time taking, but also effort as well as money. You have to put a lot of effort as well as lot of money. But the moment when you go to the cloud, cloud is offering you multiple services, guys. What is the cloud is offering to us, sir? If you ask me, sir, these cloud providers are offering the cloud computing services, right? So these offering the cloud computing services, you have to find a suitable service for it. So for example, in the Google Cloud platform, you have one of the service called Google Cloud Storage, GCS we call it as. So you have to go to the GCS, and you can directly store the data. you can directly store the data. So this is gonna take hardly few minutes. It is gonna take few minutes only. Okay, here whatever the amount of a data that you wanted to do it, you don't need to purchase any machines. Nothing is required in terms of the infrastructure overhead. You do not have any such things as like infrastructure maintenance here, because all the infrastructure is automatically provisioned and maintained for you in the cloud platforms. So you are going to store this data in a few minutes only. You do not have any step. You just have to the Google Cloud Platform and go to the GCS, create a bucket and store it. That's it. So it saves your time, effort and money. So that's the reason why most of the companies are moving from the traditional system to the cloud. It is because of this one only. In the traditional systems, you are putting a lot of effort, lot of time, lot of money. Now that is replaced. You don't have to put a lot of effort, lot of money and lot of time, because you have to spend a lot of time in that one. But in the moment you migrated to the cloud, the moment you started using the cloud, you don't need to spend that much amount of time on the infrastructure. On the infrastructure perspective, you don't need to put a lot of time, lot of effort, lot of money in the cloud platforms, because cloud platforms is providing you the managed services and fully managed services. Even serverless services also they are providing. So that is the reason most of the companies are moving towards the cloud platforms. They don't want it to use the traditional methods. It's because it is involving a lot of challenges in the traditional method. So that is what we are seeing here also, the same thing. While I am trying to define the what is Google Cloud Platform, I was talking about all the cloud platforms here. AWS is there, Azure is there, GCP is there, Alibaba, Oracle, IBM. Sir, what are these? If you ask me, these are all the cloud providers. What they provide, sir, they provide you the cloud computing services. So assume that the requirement is to store 100 terabytes of the data. So if you wanted to store the data, there is a separate service available. If you wanted to process the data, there is a service available. So for all of these services, who has to take care of the infrastructure? You don't have to worry about it. Your company don't have to worry about it. The infrastructure is automatically provisioned. You have to just provide the configuration. That's it. For some services, you don't need to even provide anything, because those are serverless also. So that's how the cloud computing services are provided to the organizations for fulfilling their project requirements. So whether it is for storing the data, processing the data, analyzing the data, visualizing the data, data governance, or maybe creating one kind of an application, scaling it, or building an application, whatever the things that you wanted to do in any of the project, whether it is a ML project or a networking project or a application project or a data project or a data engineering project, whatever the project it is, they are providing you the cloud computing services. One of such cloud platform is what, sir, if you ask me, that is GCP. Sir, Google Cloud Platform. Sir, Google Cloud Platform is one of the leading cloud provider which provides you the cloud computing services. And these services are very useful for the organizations to store the data, process the data, analyze the data, and visualize the data. For all of these requirements, you can use these cloud computing services. They are not only benefit in terms of the time, they will reduce your effort. It will also reduce your effort, time, as well as money. So that's the reason most of the cloud platforms, or most of the companies, are looking towards the cloud platform. One of such cloud platform is a Google Cloud Platform, which is leading cloud provider. So one of the top three leading cloud providers are, if you ask me, AWS and Azure and GCP, and GCP is also leading. So it is also one of the leading top three leading cloud providers. We are going to focus on this one, guys, in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so that is what the definition point of view, if you guys wanted to see. So Google Cloud Platform is a is a suite of cloud computing services provided by the Google that offers range of products and services to the organizations to help the organizations for building, deploying, and scale the applications and services in the cloud. Sir, can you show me what are those services? Sir, it is providing you the plenty of services. So that's the reason I call it as a service portfolio. It is providing you a plenty of services. Sir, it provides you the compute services. It provides you the identity and security services, management tools, networking services, big data services, storage and database services, and machine learning services. Sir, these many services that the Google Cloud Platform is providing you guys, these many set of services it is providing you. So if one wanted to interact with these services, and how do you want it to work with it, and what are the advantage of each and every service when it comes to the data engineering for big data and all of these things, how do we work with these services, in our upcoming sessions we are going to focus on. But this is what is the GCP service portfolio. And if you guys wanted to see why most of the companies are looking towards the only Google Cloud Platform nowadays, is because Google has a very good community support. We have already been using the Google products. You might have known Google Analytics, YouTube, Google Search Engine, Google Maps, Google Photos, Google, all of these things that we are using nowadays. So that's the reason Google has a very, very good community support. The best thing about the Google Cloud Platform services is that it is offering the cost-effective services. So you are getting a very good benefit comparatively. It's because the same set of services, if you go for AWS and Azure, the same set of service, it is cost-effective in the GCP. Cost-effective. You are going to pay less cost compared to the other cloud platforms. And it is flexible and scalable. These services are flexible, scalable, reliable, secure, and the fully managed services it is offering. It is offering the fully managed services, and it is fast, and the interface is very simple to understand. So that is the reason this is a plenty of the features, okay, comparatively. So you are getting all of these benefits. In addition to that, the cost effective nature, that is the reason most of the companies started using the Google Cloud Platform. Most of the companies started using the Google Cloud Platform. You have a plenty of opportunities, I would say, plenty of the opportunities for the data engineers. Okay, specifically for data engineers, guys, plenty of opportunities for the data engineers specifically, because for data engineering, Google Cloud Platform is becoming very, very famous day by day. Okay, so that is what. If one wanted to look at the trend, the last quarters are how the GCP was growth rate. If you wanted to see it, the growth rate is comparatively even more than the Azure and AWS also. So the growth rate is even more than the Azure, AWS and Azure. This is I've just copied from the Google. Okay, so I went to here. I just wanted to check out how the growth market for them, for most recent quarter for AWS, Azure, and GCP. If you see here, GCP's growth market is more. That means the comparatively the number of employees, the number of companies started using the GCP is increasing day by day. So that is what is Google Cloud Platform, everyone. Anyone have any questions on the Google Cloud Platform, please? Anyone have any questions on the Google Cloud Platform? Do we have any
Sir, I do
questions?
not see any publishing layer in the diagram.
Sorry, I don't understand. Sorry.
Sir, you mentioned injection processing,
Huh.
but I do not see any publishing layer in the flow.
No, that will be there. I just wanted to high level let you know how it works. Okay, I just wanted to know high level how it works. But in the moment you wanted to create a pipeline, all of those things comes into the picture. So as a definition, how it works, I just wanted to know. Yeah, but for sure, when we are creating the pipeline, that will also be involved. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions on data engineering and a Google Cloud Platform, guys? Just wanted to give you, because this is a very first demo session. If you guys do not know what is data engineering, what is Google Cloud Platform, it's a waste of time for me to, go to the next topic. So that's the reason, even though it is a first demo session, I took a time to explain you what is data engineering for you. What is high level knowledge I have given you, high level. and in depth we are going to see with each and every topic. When we are covering it, you are going to understand it. Okay, yeah. So now let me gonna talk about the course curriculum, sir. Sir, what is the course curriculum for this topic? If you ask me, sir, I have decided or divided this course content into two topics, two steps. So course content we have divided into two steps. One is cloud basics, nothing but Google Cloud Basics. Okay, you must understand the cloud basics if you wanted to do your data engineering activities on top of the Google Cloud Platform. Sir, if you wanted to do the Google Cloud Platform activities and data engineering activities on a Google Cloud Platform, we must have the cloud basics. First, we are going to understand the cloud basics. Then we are going to do the data engineering. We are going to learn about the data engineering tools. Okay, so this is what we are going to. So first, I will talk about the course content for the cloud basics. Then I'll go to the data engineering. So cloud basics. Sir, we are going to understand the basic things about the cloud platforms. Okay, whenever we have a time, I'm going to talk about what is this cloud overview, what is the difference between the on-premises versus cloud. And after that, I will talk about what is Google Cloud Platform, introduction, why we learn, and opportunities and certifications. And the very first one is GCP interfaces. We are going to start with GCP interfaces, the console, the Cloud Shell, and Cloud SDK. What is console? What is Cloud Shell? What is Cloud SDK? Console walkthrough. Here I am going to tell you how to create a free tier account here, guys. I am going to tell you how to create a free tier account. Sir, free tier account gives you the validity of 90 days for $300 you are going to get. So this is what. So they are freely offering you $300 for the 90 days validity. I'm going to tell you how to create such kind of an account for practice purpose. We are going to do all the practice lab sessions, hands-on, end-to-end pipeline creation in the Google Cloud Platform only with a free tier account that is having a validity of 90 days with a worth of $300 that the GCP is offering, which is a huge amount of money, I would say. Okay, yeah. And I'm going to tell you what is the project setup here and enabling links and APIs, all the details we are going to talk about in the console walkthrough. After that, talking about the GCP locations, regions, zones, and selection criteria and importance. The fifth module, we are going to talk about the GCP locations, such as regions, zones, selection criteria, and importance. The sixth topic, I am an admin, identities, roles, policy, and resource hierarchy. So all of these topics we are going to see. So these are the cloud basics that we are going to cover, guys. What is Google Cloud Platform? GCP interfaces, console walkthrough, GCP locations, IAM and admin, very important topic for the access control. Okay, all of these details we are going to see in our upcoming sessions. The very first topic that we are going to start with may be Google Cloud Platform and this one. Okay, yeah. After the cloud basics are completed, we have to enter into the data engineering tools. Once the cloud basics, this cloud basics will take 6 to 7 days. Once the cloud basics are completed, you can we can start with the data engineering tools. Sir, we are going to start with the very first topic. So I have divided for you to make you understand. So data is categorized into three parts. One is unstructured data, semi-structured data, and structured data. For working with unstructured data and storing the unstructured data, we have one of the service called GCS. We are going to talk about the GCS here. For semi-structured data, for OLTP and OLAP, we are using the big table. For structured data OLTP, we have a Cloud SQL. Structured data OLAP, we have a BigQuery. So these are the four storage and database services that we are covering. Bigtable is very less. We are not covering much because it is not that much important. But GCS, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, all the four services we are covering. Here we are covering four. Bigtable is high level. Okay, so this is how it is, guys. So coming to the storage and database services, we are covering the four services, guys: GCS, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, and Bigtable. Then next one. So we must create the data pipelines. For creating the Spark and Hadoop pipelines, we are learning with the data proc. What is data proc? And for creating the Beam pipelines, we are learning about the data flow. For code-free pipeline, we are learning about the data fusion. And for workflow orchestration tool, we are learning with Airflow. Where I have also added recently, that is Lakehouse architecture, that is Databricks. Databricks also have recently added, guys. We are also covering the Databricks, guys. So which is very, very good knowledge that you are going to get in the Databricks. So data pipelines. So if one wanted to create the Spark and Hadoop pipelines, we are learning the one more service called Dataproc 1. Beam pipelines, one more data engineering framework, that is Beam. We are learning data flow 2, 3, 4, 5. When it comes to the data pipelines, 5 services we are covering.
So Dataproc
Next,
have the Scala classes.
sorry.
Dataproc will have the Scala classes.
No, we are focusing on the Spark with Python, guys. Okay. Yeah, data proc. It supports Scala also, but we are letting Spark with Python, Beam with Python. Yeah. And streaming data ingestion, PubSub, we are going to learn about. That is one. Event-based solution, that is Cloud Functions 2. And Terraform, this is a complementary topic, that is 3. So here 3 topics. In addition to these data engineering tools and cloud basics, I am going to teach about the Linux basics as well. Basic Linux is very much important for the data engineers we are covering. Then Python for data engineer, most of the students is asking me, sir, we are not able to understand the Python for data engineers. So that's the reason, sir. Even earlier I was not covering the Python. Earlier I was not covering the Python. Students actually told me, sir, covering the Python for data engineers is going to be very useful for us. Please cover it. So that's the reason from the last 2 to 3 batches onwards, I'm teaching the Python for data engineers also as the crash course, so that they will understand most of the details about the Python also. Python we are covering. PySpark also I am covering. Apache Beam also we are covering. So frameworks, these are the frameworks, big data frameworks. This is programming languages. This is shell language, shell scripting. So these are all the programming concepts also we are covering, guys. So in addition to those cloud basics and data engineering tools, we are also covering these programming concepts as well. End to end, all the things we are covering. I would say a data engineer, if they wanted to get a job, whatever the things that are required for the GCP data engineers, we are covering end to end, I would say. I've been teaching this course from the last 2 years. I'm telling you guys, I have designed this course in such a way that very, very organized. Let me show you how it looks like also, maybe. So the course content, if one wanted to show you, maybe I'll show you here one more time. Maybe this is what it is, guys. The course content, the timings are different, everything is same. Only the timings are 7:30 to 8:30. Everything is same except this one. Timings are 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. IST. That's it. Everything is same. Look at here, guys. The same thing in a proper, in a one sheet I have mentioned here so that you can understand it here. So that is, we are covering the cloud basics. Sir, we are covering the cloud basics. Okay, so that is where we are going to see about all the cloud overview, GCP introduction, interfaces, locations, and IAM and admin. And after that, we are covering the programming concepts also, Linux, Python, PySpark, and Apache Beam. Then we are entering into the data engineering, GCS, Cloud SQL, BigQuery, Dataproc, Dataflow, Data Fusion, Airflow, PubSub, Cloud Functions, Databricks, Terraform, and Bigtable. Terraform and Bigtable is a complementary only. Rest of the things are proper. And when it comes to the projects and case studies, 2 BigQuery case studies, 2 case studies and 1 end-to-end pipeline in the Dataproc, 2 case study and 1 end-to-end streaming pipeline in the Dataflow, 4 end-to-end DAX in the Airflow for orchestration purpose, 2 case studies for streaming and autoloader, and 1 end-to-end pipeline in the Databricks. So these are the concepts. Almost 10 plus end-to-end pipelines that we are going to learn, including the case studies and pipelines, and 10 end-to-end. And these end-to-end things are actually as per the industry standard, guys. I would tell you, maybe for example, if you look at here case study 2, which we are covering for the Spark, everything is properly for a real-time use cases only we are going to cover, and which will be having data validation steps, data transformations, logging, monitoring, and handling, error handling also. All of these things industry standard only we are going to cover for valid records and invalid records. What happens, how do we do the cloud logging, and how the data will be extracted from the different sources. All of those details we are going to cover. Okay, yeah, let me gonna tell you guys from the basic what we are going to cover. So GCP introduction, GCP interfaces are Google Cloud interfaces, console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. Console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. After that console walkthrough, sir. In the console walkthrough, I'm going to tell you how to create a free tier account, project setup, enabling the billing, enabling the APIs. How do we interact with the different services using these methods? GCP locations, what is region, what is zone, what is selection criteria and importance. IM and admin, what are principles, roles, permissions, policies, resource hierarchy, service accounts, all of these details. How do we create a free tier account in the GCP? And working with the SDK also, how do we work with the SDK? Local SDK. Linux basics are all the Linux basics, including the commands and their descriptions we are going to cover. The very first data engineering service, that is Google Cloud Storage. This is the notes that I'm going to offering you guys. So you are going to get it like this one. Maybe I'll show you how you are going to see the same thing. Give me 1 minute. Somewhere I may be having the link. I just have to go and open it properly. Yeah, this is how the notebook is going to be shown for you guys. So this is where Google Cloud Basics. So the tabs and pages. So GCS. What is GCS? How do we create the bucket using the GCS and node? Using the Cloud Shell, how do we interact with the Google Cloud Storage and all of these things? Assignment and quiz. Cloud SQL. What is Cloud SQL? Connecting with the Cloud SQL. Cloud SQL, we are covering the database migration project. For this project, what are the, how the team will be, how the migration phases will be, pre-migration planning, schema and data migration, all of these things, how it will happen, I'm going to cover here. And Linux and sample data as well as assignments. And BigQuery. What is BigQuery? Working with BigQuery, dataset, partitioning and clustering, assignments, case study 1, in the BigQuery case study 1, case study 2, working with arrays. This is one of the complex topic in the BigQuery, working with an arrays, nested fields and repeated fields in the BigQuery, BigQuery views, BigQuery optimization techniques. Python. After that, we are going to cover Python. What are the Python topics are covered? Python data types, data structures, list, tuple, dictionary set, Python programming constructions, if, elif, else statements, for loop and while loop, exceptional handling, file input, output operations, functions and classes. All the things that are required for data engineers. Python installation, Python notebook already available. If you wanted to access any of the file, you can able to double click on it. You can able to download it also. Practice questions for the Python. Dataproc. What is this Hadoop? What happens even before Hadoop and Spark? What were the challenges that the people were facing when the Hadoop came into the picture? What is the Spark emergence? And what is the difference between the Hadoop MapReduce and Apache Spark? What is Dataproc? How it is different from the Hadoop and Spark? How do we create the Dataproc cluster? Steps to create the cluster in the Dataproc. Spark and PySpark. What is Spark? What is PySpark and Spark architecture? Lab sessions. So this entire notebook is going to be having a lab sessions, guys. So lab sessions, you can also see the lab sessions. Maybe if you download it, you will be able to see the lab sessions also. Everything in the lab sessions, you are going to see the extract, transform, load, and all the transformations in a very detail we are going to cover. Sample data sets for the practice purpose. Case study 1, which is for the employee travel record. You can put in your resume also. All of these case studies, whatever I'm teaching, you can put in your resume that you have worked on these things. Case study 1 and their architecture. Case study 2 and its architecture. And sample code, everything is available, guys. You don't need to worry about it. You can download it. Everything is already available. Assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, end-to-end batch pipeline for ML workloads. For ML workloads, how do we create a batch pipeline for ML workloads? We created it here. And data flow. What is data flow? How it is different from the data proc? Creating the workbench for the practice purpose. Spark versus Beam, data flow versus data proc, lab sessions. Here you have a notebook for lab sessions. Sample data sets, use case 1, assignment 1. So for even though assignments also you'll be having answers, guys. Even though I was mentioning data proc also, even though I'm mentioning you the assignments, there is an answer for that already. Okay. So everything has an answer already. So you can also see here. So don't worry about the assignments also, everyone. You can able to have the answers also for assignments. Template method of creating the pipelines. End-to-end streaming pipeline. This is where we are talking about end-to-end streaming pipeline and its architecture. Dead letter queue. PubSub. What is PubSub? How it works? What are the use cases? What is the architecture? And we use this PubSub in the streaming pipeline here. In the streaming pipeline, we use the PubSub topic here. Airflow. What is Airflow? Workflow orchestration tools. Architecture of the Airflow. What is DAG? Creating the DAG, cron job format. Creating the composer environment. Level 1 DAG, I told you 4 DAGs end to end, right? So this is for the BigQuery jobs, level 1 DAG. Level 2 DAG for the data proc jobs. Level 3 DAG for the Apache Beam jobs. Level 4 is parent and the child DAGs. Level 5 is an assignment for you guys. Data fusion. For data fusion, you have a video. I have created a video because data fusion is not directly used nowadays. So they are not much using. But I was covering earlier, but I have removed this topic because I'm still having, I created a video for that one so that you can watch the video here, guys. So you have the video here. So for data flow, data fusion, end-to-end pipeline with the data fusion, you have a video here. And the functions. What is cloud function and use cases 1 and use case 2? Databricks. Databricks, we have a module 1, module 2, module 3 Unity catalog, introduction to the Databricks, what is Lakehouse architecture, Databricks clusters, notebooks, DB utility commands, introduction to the Delta Lake table creations, advanced features, structured streaming with Databricks, incremental data loading with the autoloader, Databricks workflows, Databricks DLT. DLT is not covered in this particular course. DLT is not covered, guys. And end-to-end project also. Okay, so this is how. And you can able to see the introduction, setting up the Databricks on the GCP. We are creating the Databricks on the GCP. Databricks on GCP is nowadays very famous. And Unity catalog. What is Unity catalog? All the features of the Unity catalog and core concepts of the Unity catalog and everything. Because I work at Databricks, guys. I'm working at Databricks. Clusters, notebooks, DB utility commands, Delta tables, dataset creations, structured streaming, autoloader, workflows, medallion architecture, end-to-end workflow. Okay, so all of these things. We have a repository for the Databricks. There's a repository. And finally, complementary. So you have a complementary end-to-end project I have created for you guys. This is one of the commonly used project, I would say. You can actually make use of this one, is going to be very interesting. So that's also available, guys, for you. Project flow, setting up all of these things also. This is very, very interesting case study. And Terraform, as I told you, Terraform, I'm also providing it as a video because some basic knowledge on the Terraform is required. So that's the reason I have created a video for that. So this was, you can able to see, this is a video that I have covered, and Terraform life cycle and everything is here. And for notes also, you have it here. So everything related to the Terraform also. Okay, so these are the complementary. So in addition to all of these things, I am providing you this material, and in this material you already having this resume templates. For those who wanted to create their resume, you have a resume templates already. Interview introductions. Sir, I do not know how to explain the introduction. I do not know the project explanation, architecture, project 2 explanation, and architecture. So I made it very, very simple for you. You just have to properly go through while before going into the interview. Just have to go through it and try to explain the same thing in the interview, which makes your job very, very simple and easy to crack. Okay, and data engineering questions, theoretical questions, commonly asked theoretical questions, SQL questions, commonly asked SQL questions, Python questions. Okay, and PySpark also. Certification dumps, those who wanted to go for the certification, I'm also giving you the certification dumps. Yeah, so everything is covered, guys. So this is what it is. And finally, coming to the course details. So course will be having 2.5 months, guys. Around 3 months, 2 months or 3 months it will be having, around 3 months. Timings daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday. Online live sessions will be there every day, live session, guys. So you have to attend the session. I'll be teaching it. Add-ons, video recordings, comprehensive material. So just now you guys have seen the comprehensive material. On a daily basis, you are going to get the video recording if you miss the session also. Comprehensive, just now I have shown you the material. The same thing, I'm going to share you the link. You can able to access everything once I provide you the access. Assignments, real-time projects and case studies, interview questions, certification dumps, resume assistance. So all of these things that we are providing. Right? So real-time case studies, projects, interview questions, certification dumps, resume assistance also. And prerequisite for the course is SQL, guys. You need to have a familiarity with the SQL. This is a prerequisite for the course. Target audience, whoever it is, guys. I'm telling you, whoever it is. If you feel that you got stuck in your career, sir, I just wanted to push up. Sir, I wanted to learn one course. I wanted to enter into the IT. Or, sir, I'm already working in the IT in the testing background, supporting background, mainframes background. Sir, I am not getting enough package. I'm not able to survive. So if you wanted to raise your package by learning some course. So this is what it is, guys. So whoever you are, if you think that you are comes under all of these things, in that case, I suggest you to go for this course, guys. I'm telling you, most of the people have utilized this course to get the job. They are now currently working. I would say most of the people, more than 200 people, I would say. So yeah, I am the one actually teaching the GCP data engineering from the last 2 years. At that point of time, no trainer was there for the GCP. I've started it in, and it's been almost 65 plus batches we have ran so far, and it's going good so far. Yeah. If anyone have any questions, guys, in terms of the data engineering course content or any of the career questions, if you have, you can ask me, guys. We can see the questions now. If anyone have any questions, yes, please. You can ask me. Please raise your hand if you guys wanted to ask any of the question to me. Do we have any questions, anyone? If you're not able to talk, you can also put your question in the chat box, guys. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna answer it.
Sir, is there any batch in the evening?
Yes, but that's in the middle. Actually, it is in the middle. Yeah.
Okay, mid of March.
Yes. No, that is
Oh,
already in the mid. I mean, it is going to take 1.5 month more. It's already running.
okay. Sir, can you make the class timing 8 p.m. 8 a.m.?
No, guys. Actually, 7:30 to 8:30 is proper for most of the people who wanted to go for office also. Yeah.
Oh, so we
Actually,
are
I
going to
thought of
see.
to ask to move 30 minutes before. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, what happens, guys? This is a suitable time for most of the people. 7:30 to 8:30. And I mean, usually we start at some 10 minutes later also. 7:30, no, actually 7:30, 7:40 we around start like that, and we go until 9 actually. Sometimes we go until 8:45, 8:50 also. Okay, so that's not a time, should not be a problem, guys. Try to manage 10-15 minutes before, so that you can able to end up in less, because the moment if I put 8, right, it will go up to 8, 8 9:15, 9:45 also, because sometimes we take little bit more time, right? So that's the reason. Yeah, 7:30 to 8:30 works for most of the people, and please try to manage the time, guys. Yeah. And yes, so if anyone is non-IT also, I see some of the things in the chat box. If you are a non-IT also, that is not a problem at all. We are covering the course from the basic to the advanced. The way you might have seen, the way I'm teaching, everyone, if you are able to understand whatever I have said today, if you are able to understand, the classes are going to be the same thing. Because I'm going to teach like a old school teacher only. I'll be teaching like in my paint only most of the time. I very rarely use my, uh, you know, these things, notes as well as ppts. I rarely use. I just wanted to teach like this is my board, and this is how I teach it. Even if I go for some of the, sometimes I'll go for the colleges also for teaching. So there I try to teach in the board only. So this is practice for me. So the moment I am teaching here, if you are able to understand here, I'm telling you, you will be able to understand each and every topic in upcoming sessions. There are few dark areas, I would say. There are few concepts which are complex when understanding it, but the practice is required there. That's it. Other than that, if I'm teaching one theoretical topic, for sure you are going to understand. One coding topic, for sure you are going to understand, I would say. That's how I make my classes, and easily understandable for everyone. And we are going to cover from the basic. We will start from the cloud basics. That is nothing but from basics to the advanced. We are going to end our course at a stage where everyone is now aware of automation. So you should be able to understand. So now you do not know anything at this point of time. So you do not know anything. By the end of the course, you should be able to create a automated pipelines. That is the idea. Automated pipelines from the basic. Even though now you do not know the basics also, I'm going to teach in such a way that from this stage to the, I'll make you to create an automated pipelines in the GCP. That's how I'm going to teach it. Don't worry. My way of teaching will be 80 by 20 model. So I follow this model of teaching. So 80 is my practical labs, 80% of the labs, 20% of the theoretical sessions. So that is what I do. So that's the reason most of the people, this is more of a job focused, more of a job focus. You need to get the job out of this course. That's the main agenda. Cracking the job, no. Working in the job. So people say, ask me, sir, can I get the job from the course? I'm not talking about the job, because getting the job is easy. The best and the one of the important aspect is that you should be able to work in the company comfortably. So you, whenever they are giving you a request, a task, or if they are assigning you to one of the project, you should be able to work in the project comfortably. So that is the main area. So that's the reason we put a lot of labs. I make you understand each and everything. I'll even ask you what are the challenges that you faced in each labs, so that you put the same thing in your interview also. So that's how I make it as a real time. So this is more of a, you are working in a company only for next 3 months. So that's how I make it. So lab session, theoretical, everything I'm going to cover here. So that makes easy for you. Mostly labs, less is theoretical, so that you will understand whatever theory and those things in the real time things, lab session. So that's all. Any questions, anyone, please?
Sir, after few days you are starting evening batch, right? What is the timings for that batch?
the evening batch will be 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. guys. Evening batch is already running now. Okay, so those who wanted to join in the evening batch at this point of time, also you can join, but it's already 1.5 month completed. Okay, but the evening batch timings is 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, those who wanted to still join, you can join. That's not a problem at all. But the only thing is that if you wanted to join the next batch, it will take 1.5 month more, 1.5 months more. Yeah.
That's fine, sir. Yeah, I'm in EST, so that's why I'm checking the
What you
possibilities.
guys those guys, if the time is not suitable, what I suggest you to do is that connect with the admin team, and they'll help you to make you join in both the batches with a little bit of extra charge. Okay, I would suggest that, because what happens is that if you are having little bit of exposure in this batch, and if you are trying to join that batch also, it is easy for you. Okay, so try to connect with an admin and try to understand the timings and everything when they are planning it, and they will help you. Okay, the management will help you on when is going to start. I'm not sure when is the actual batch is starting, even I have not decided yet, because it is there still 1.5 months. If you wanted to get in touch with the admin team and management team, they will help you on these timings, guys. Yes, those who wanted to be not set getting the enough time in the morning, so in that case you can go for the evening also, guys. Yeah, connect with an admin, they'll help you on more details. Yes, any other questions, anyone? Do we have any other questions, guys? I hope you guys have learned something today. Can you guys confirm, guys? Have you learned something or some exposure on the GCP? You got it at least? Yeah, that's great. Okay, okay guys, thank you all. We have a demo session 2 tomorrow. We have a second demo session tomorrow, guys. We have a free second demo session tomorrow. Please try to attend, which is we are going to talk about very interesting topic, that is GCP interfaces. So the next topic that we are going to talk is GCP. Sorry, why this is coming? GCP interfaces. We are going to talk about it. So how do we interact with the GCP services? Console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. So it is free for everyone. So please try to attend this demo session tomorrow at the same time, and we will talk about more details on the GCP interfaces. Okay. Yeah, very basic session, very important session. If one wanted to work in the Google Cloud platform, please try to attend. If anyone have any questions also, you can ask me tomorrow. Not a problem at all. Okay, any questions before winding up the session? Okay guys, thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye. We will meet in the next session tomorrow at the same time. Thank you guys.